I'm sure that you guys are aware that many people voted for Hillary Clinton simply because she's a woman. And in today's time, there are still a lot of Hillary Clinton supporters that you'll see in places like Twitter and just kind of a big chunk of the electorate, quite honestly, who still kind of stands by Hillary Clinton and will shame Bernie Sanders, or, calling Bernie Sanders supporters Bernie bros, trying to paint them as sexist somehow. Now, I'm going to be diving into this because this is something that's absolutely putrid, and this whole thing of identity politics and sort of social justice warrior stuff needs to be stopped, and I'm going to really set my foot down in this and talk about this because it's very important. And I know that some of you guys are going to be very upset that I'm talking about something like this, especially with the social justice warrior stuff, because the term is obviously the term has been overused, but I'm talking about the actual SJW stuff, and I'm going to be giving you guys pure examples of the identity politics that we need to avoid and we need to fight on a daily basis, not only because it's irrational and it's stupid, but we don't want it to have the effect like it did in the 2016 primary, in the Democratic primary. So basically, Dianne Feinstein, who is the current senator in California, she did not receive a endorsement from this big progressive group. Kevin De Leon won it instead. Now, Glenn Greenwald talked about this on Twitter. He said Dianne Feinstein, 84, has spent her four full terms in the U.S. Senate with great loyalty and servitude to the CIA and NSA and various wars. She now wants her 5th full term, but the California Dem Party just refused to endorse her. They prefer her opponent by 54 to 37%. So if you guys know anything about Dianne Feinstein, you guys know that especially as of recently, she has become a full-on sellout. It wasn't too long ago where she, was talking about at I think it was a town hall that she was against Medicare for all, and just shortly prior or after that, she had this, meeting with this big pharmaceutical company. She's a huge sellout. She's a complete sellout, okay? But here's what happened. So, as in response to this criticism from Glenn Greenwald, there were a ton of Hillary supporters and these kind of identity politics using Hillary people who came in. So here's what one of the comments said. They got a ton of traction, by the way, over 2.9k favorites. It says, sure, let's toss Feinstein to the curb. And while we're at it, let's toss Ruth Bader Ginsburg to the curb as well. Stupid old women. I have rights today because of these women and others like them. So fuck you, Greenwald. You're a punk. So essentially what this person is trying to say is that Glenn Greenwald is in opposition to Dianne Feinstein, not because she's, as Glenn Greenwald put it, basically someone who has, fell in line with the CIA and the NSA and been a very corporate Democrat, and other criticism that I have of her, which is she's a massive sellout and not truly a progressive on issues. This person's response is, you're not criticizing Dianne Feinstein because of the policy positions, but rather because she's a woman, which is patently false. And even he himself pointed out that, hey, it's not because she's old or that she's a woman. It's because of the policy positions that she advocates for. But again, this person reverts to identity politics to somehow, smear Glenn Greenwald and other people by calling Bernie supporters Bernie bros, calling them sexist. It's complete bullshit. It's complete bullshit, okay? Now we have another one to look at here. This person sent out 2 tweets getting a combined over 10,000 favorites, saying, whatever you think of Dianne Feinstein's politics, she's been faithfully serving in her office for decades, and she's a good representative who listens to her constituents and takes her job seriously. She doesn't deserve to be treated that way. Treated what way? Losing an endorsement in which a actual progressive candidate won it? I think she does deserve that. She's a sellout. But anyway, she goes on to say, and don't think we're not noticing this trend. Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, Kathy Myers all asked to step aside so some mediocre dude can take their place. Y'all are about as transparent as cellophane. So, again, claiming that there's some kind of trend that's going on because we're telling corporate Democrats who don't really represent progressive ideals, but instead this kind of really flaky, corporate, really kind of policies that they support. Well, we don't support single payer. We just support, Obamacare. Let's just make improvements to Obamacare. This really soft ass BS. And a lot of times when it comes to foreign policy, they're almost indistinguishable from Republicans. These feminists, SJWs, these fucking suckers are basically, just ask them about, women in Syria or Libya or Iraq, and ask them how much of Hillary Clinton's feminism has done anything for them, or ask them, how does your feminism reach out to brown women in other countries that you bombed the shit out of, that you advocated for bombing the shit out of? I've seen Hillary Clinton supporters asked about, I saw one specific that was asked about Hillary Clinton's ties to Henry Kissinger, who literally bombed the shit out of Cambodia, and they said they don't care. So these people are not real feminists. They're just fake, and this is complete BS. And Kathy Meyer's listing in that list, there were so many progressives that supported her. In fact, it's actually more of the Hillary Clinton-like supporters who are supporting Randy Bryce over Kathy Meyers. So that's just a dumb example to put in there anyways. But listen, I'm making this video specifically because I want to get the message out to everyone. Identity politics must be stopped. Don't vote for someone just because they're a female. Don't vote for someone just because they're gay. Don't vote for someone just because they're of some race. Vote for the person who has the best policy positions, and that will result in the best representation that we can get. Vote for Bernie Sanders because his policy positions are the best. Vote for O'Connor because his policy positions are the best. Vote for Tulsi Gabbard not because she's a woman, but because her policy positions are the best. Vote for Nina Turner not because she's a black woman, but because her policies are the best. Stop the identity politics. It is massively hurtful and just horrendous for the left wing, for the left's movement, and it makes us look like idiots. And this is just such massive stupidity that I don't know how this kind of ideology of, stop attacking women in Congress, like that's not in our, we're not attacking them for being women, you fucking idiots. So identity politics needs to be stopped, and I want to make this video to really cement my opposition to identity politics and a lot of the SJW tactics and these fake feminists that have been used. And this is just complete bullshit.